Welcome to Frontline Football, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about signing and franchise tags. And there's about, I think, 20 people we are talking about today just in our three stories. So roll the intro. Welcome to Frontline Football. I'm sorry about my horrible intro. Jack, let's get started with, what is it? Franchise tags?
Franchise tags. The deadline ended today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and we finally have our final franchise taggies that we did not go over. Alright, I got a very long list. I'm going to start reading. Taylor Borden, right tackle of the Carolina Panthers, you've been tagged. Chris Godwin, wide receiver of the Buccaneers, you've been tagged. Allen Robinson, wide receiver of the Chicago Bears, you've been tagged. Marcus Williams of the New Orleans Saints, you've been tagged. Justin Simmons of the Denver Broncos, you've been tagged. Leonard Williams of the New York Giants, you've been tagged. And last but not least, Cam Robinson of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have been tagged. Alright, Josh, how about you open us up? What are your thoughts on this situation?
Okay, well, I'm not going to be going over everybody because that is too many names to cover in this. But I think that all these are great moves in the right direction with Taylor Morton, or how do you spell Morton? Yes, with Taylor Morton, it's a great thing because Carolina's really building something good down there. Maybe coming back to 2015 form sooner rather than later. And then next with Chris Godwin, they're going to run it back this year. They're going to try to at least... Brady is going to go for number 8, so that was a good signing. Allen Robinson, an amazing signing by the Chicago Bears to put him on a franchise tag because you are going to need that because I don't know who the heck your quarterback is this year, and you don't have a high enough pick to even draft one of the good quarterbacks this year. So good luck, Chicago. I wish you well this year because Allen Robinson is going to be trying to catch passes from some guy you got off the street. So good luck, Allen Robinson. We'll go to Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons, it's a great thing. You weren't going to franchise tag Von Miller, not with what happened this year with the allegations and the text messages that were sent out this year. You were not going to re-sign him after that. That was not a good idea. Leonard Williams, it's okay. Let's move on to the next one. Cam Robinson, you're going to need some protection for your new quarterback of the future that you're going to draft this year. Find out more on Friday's episode of Frontline Football Frontline Football offseason previews. Now, I will hand it off to Zach for his thoughts on the matter.
Well, Chris Godwin, they're going to run it back. Allen Robinson, it's smart because you need to have a number one option for the next QB that's going to be on your team. Justin Simmons, he's a great safety, and that's a very smart room. Cam Robinson and Leonard Williams, a very smart moves too. Jack?
All right, first, Taylor Borden, solid. I think because Akun's regressing, he can run left tackle now. That's good for anyone, no matter who's under center for Carolina. Chris Godwin, they're going to try to run it back with Godwin. That makes sense. They got Levante David back. We'll get into that in just a second. And Shaq Barrett, just find a way to get him back too, and then you'll be good. As for Allen Robinson, I've heard that he's not a big fan of it. He's not happy. So, Bears fans, tell your picture of Russell Wilson goodnight every night for good luck to hope that he somehow shows up so A-Rob will be happy. As for Marcus Williams and Justin Simmons, safety tags were super low this year, so that's why pretty much every safety going into the open market got tagged because it was super good and that's super convenient. Top safety in the league, basically playing on a $10 million contract. That's great. Leonard Williams makes sense. You invested a third and a fifth into him when you traded for him. He had a breakout year. You're going to pay him eventually, but you can kick the can down the road a little longer, I guess. And last but not least, Cam Robinson. Yeah, no reason to be losing offensive linemen like that. You have to keep him around for whoever you draft a quarterback.
Okay. Well, let's talk about re-signing players, Josh.
The players who were re-signed were... Let's first go with the lower one, Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let's go to the big name of this offseason, Dak. I'm not going to say that because we'll get demonetized. Prescott. He signed for the second largest quarterback contract in the entire NFL, only behind the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and had the highest signing bonus of $66 million from the Dallas Cowboys. He will be a Cowboys next year. Cowboys fans, so go celebrate in the streets. go party, but make sure to be 6 feet apart because we don't want to be sued for COVID stuff because that's still going on and we probably got demonetized just for saying that, but we aren't even monetized yet. So I will, besides rambling, let me pass it on to Jack for his takes on the matter.
All right, so first I'm going to discuss Dak Prescott. Yeah, Jerry Jones bet that Dak Prescott wasn't going to ball out, and he did. So congratulations, Jerry. You now have to pay him more money than you would have if you would have just done this last year. Round of applause. Just Dak Prescott was able to basically blow you out of the water, so good job being dumb, but he was getting paid anyway, so I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. As for Levante David, that was a great signing. That deal was ridiculous. He came back extremely cheap for what he did for the defense, and I believe it was only guaranteed of around $17 million for being a top linebacker. Compare that to C.J. Mosley, who's guaranteed like $40 million or something ridiculous. That is a great deal. That is a steal by Tampa Bay. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, I'm going to talk about Levante David. They got him for really cheap, and they're trying to run it back, like I just said with Chris Godwin. So just get a bunch of people, and then you'll be fine. And just get the same core back, do different scheming. And then let's talk about Dak Daddy Prescott. All right, so he got paid a lot of money from Jerry Boy. And, yeah, Jerry Jones should have really paid him last year, and he regretted it probably this year, which now they are in negative cap. I think they're in negative $1 million something, and that's not good for them because I don't think they have to re-sign anybody else this year, and Dak was like the biggest need, but Dak is still – that's really big. So, yeah. All right. We're going to – wait, Josh, did you say your take?
I did not say my take. Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones, you just played yourself. Because Dak Prescott was one of the greatest quarterbacks this year. If he would have not gotten injured, he would have probably been the passing title leader this year. And now he is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, all thanks to Jerry not re-signing him because he was penny pinching. Well, that penny pinching did not go well, huh? Did it, Jerry boy? So, for the next person, Levante David, this is a amazing signing. They got him for such a cheap price, but that's usually how it goes. Whenever you win a championship, people take pay cuts, and you're more likely to run it back. So, good luck to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year, and thank you for beating the Kansas City Chiefs, and hopefully, if they're back, you can beat them up again. So I will hand it off to nobody because we're going on to our next story.
All right. I'll be covering free agents. Free agents for this year that are confirmed right now are Carlos Dunlap, Joe Thuney, Bud Dupree, Kenny Galladay, Hunter Henry, Chris Carson, Hassan Reddick, Judon Smith, Carl Lawson, Juju Smith-Schuster. All right. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
To open us up with Carlos Dunlap, he was cut by Seattle Seahawks. There's a shot he comes back for a cheaper deal. He was just on a super expensive deal that Seattle did not want to pay. So that's something to keep an eye on. His name that I forgot to include on there, Shaquille Griffin's walking. So that's another guy that's going in. But Carlos Dunlap, solid. And he's more of a veteran, so I don't think he's going to be like a key building piece, but still good if you are a team. Joe Thuney, Brandon Scherf got tagged, so this is it. This is the big fish. This is the big of the interior lineman in free agency. I expect every team that needs an interior lineman to be in on this guy somehow. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. He's going to be the highest paid interior lineman in history when this is over. Bud Dupree tore his ACL but was very productive before it. Pittsburgh did not bring him back. That could be an intriguing option. I believe he's 28, so something to look into. Kenny Galladay, he did shake loose successfully. That is your top receiver with A-Rob falling to the tag. Kenny Galladay is now arguably the best receiver in free agency. That's good for him because that means more money, less of a market. Hunter Henry, he shook loose from the Chargers. That's a great tight end option. Be prepared Friday. We have a very specific spot that we like Hunter Henry in. So that's a good target for anyone that needs a tight end. Chris Carson, that's Seattle's running back, I believe. He's solid. He's power back, so any team looking for a power back, you know where to call. Chris Carson. Hassan Reddick, 10 or 11 sacks this year. Pretty solid player, edge rusher. That could be someone good to solidify an edge rusher if you need one. Gianno Smith, Tennessee Titans tight end, very productive. That's something to look out for. And Atlanta, where Arthur Smith, his former offense coordinator, is, that's something to keep an eye on. But very good tight end, solid. Carl Lawson, edge rusher. Not a lot of sacks, but a lot of QB hits. Good in the 4-3, I believe. So that's something to keep an eye on if you're in need of an edge rusher. And last but not least, Juju Smith-Schuster, TikTok man himself, has shaken loose. Now, I don't know. He's talented, but I don't like the TikToks about it. So if you are interested in the TikTok, not interested in the TikTok part, but the talent part, then he's the guy to call. What are your thoughts on this, Josh?
I think that for the players going out, Carlos Dunlap, he will probably not get re-signed by Seattle because if Seattle wanted him back, they probably would have restructured his deal. So I believe that he is going to a team that needs that veteran piece to bring their young lineup up to par. I believe that he could go to a team like the Carolina Panthers who have a really young defensive core and could help them be that veteran leadership on that team. Next, we have Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney, after this offseason, will get paid loads upon loads of money. They are going to need trucks to bring in how much money he's going to make this offseason because he will make bunches of it. He will have so much money. He could probably wipe his butt with ones is how much money he is going to be making by the end of this offseason. But Dupree, he is an amazing guy before that ACL tear, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. But he will be signing, and he will be signing a big deal too. Now, Kenny Galladay, he is the big fish. He will be signing one of the biggest deals this free agency because he is going to a team that can contend but also has money. He will be getting paid for any team that wants to give. Hunter Henry, we already have his spot, and we think that it is a great spot for him to be in. But check out our video on Friday to figure out where we think that he will go. And then let's go next to Chris Carson. He was a great running back this year for Seattle, and he will be a great running back somewhere else. Hassan Reddick, he will bring teams up to greatness level. Who knows? He may go to a little bit of a Super Bowl contender team that just needs that one last defensive player to bring them to the promised land. And finally, Jonnu Smith and Carl Loss, or a couple more. Jonnu Smith, he was really good. He's probably going to be picked up, not as much as Hunter Henry, but he will still get the money that he deserves. Carl Lawson, great at rushing the quarterback, so I think he'll go if the chips fall where they need to. And Juju, I think that for this signing, he's going to have to go to a locker room that's a bit more strict than Pittsburgh. I think that if he has that stability and, well, not that stability, that kind of leadership of the coach not letting him do as much as he was able to do in Pittsburgh, I think that he could be an amazing receiver in this league. So I will hand it off to Zach if he hasn't done his takes yet.
Carlos Dunlap, very good player. Joe Thuney, great left tackle. Bud Dupree, he got an ACL tear, but he was really solid. Kenny Galladay, he's the guy. He's going to be so good. And any team that can pick him, if a team can pick him up, like, say, like a team that just needs a receiver like the Colts, they'll go really well. And then Hunter Henry, we will cover Hunter Henry on Friday and where he will most likely land, that we all want him to land. Chris Carson, well, he was fine in Seattle. I mean, he got injured, so yeah. Hassan Reddick, I don't understand this. Can't we just give him his fifth-year option, because he was in the Watson draft. He was drafted in the first round, so that's all the qualifications for having a fifth-year option. And I don't get it, that one. And then the Jordan Smith or whatever, he's a great tight end, not as good as Hunter Henry, but he'll land somewhere. Carl Lawson, he's a great edge for any team. And then Juju, he'll be having to go, like Josh said, to a stricter locker room, and he'll have to stop doing all this stuff like doing TikTok dances on people's logo, calling the Browns just the Browns or something like that. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Jack, bring us to our final story in Trent Brown.
All right, our last story of the day is Trent Brown has been traded to the New England Patriots for a fifth and a conditional seventh. This is addressing the tackle position of New England, and I guess I'll open this one up because I think this is highway robbery. What is wrong with the Raiders? This man was a Pro Bowler last year. I understand he had injury concerns, but I mean, he was very good. Plus, New England, they have Isaiah Wynn, and they have their right tackle that opted out that was pretty solid before that. So it's a little confusing. Maybe they're letting one of those guys walk. Maybe they're trading one of them. I'm not sure, but all I know is Raiders. Russell Wilson put you on his list because you had no line, and then you responded by cutting two of your starting guards and trading your starting left tackle. So, yeah, that's a bit strange, but I guess you guys be yourself. Gruden's on a 10-year deal. Neither of them are going anywhere. And keep balling. 8-8, baby. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, 8-8 will make them to the playoffs, but it will give them weird draft picks that they always reach for guys that I don't understand. But John Gruden will say it works out in the end. But this, like Jack said, is highway robbery. This is horrible. Trent Brown deserves at least a second-round pick to first-round pick. He was a Pro Bowler last year, and he had injury concerns, like Jack said. But still, just because he's injured doesn't mean that you trade him for a fifth and a seventh. You trade him at least for a first. All right. Well, that does it for my take, Josh.
Jeez. I feel sorry if you're a Raiders fan right now. I really am. And I think that this is actually worse than the Hopkins trade. Because at least with DeAndre Hopkins, the Texans got a second-round pick. Now, yes, they did trade that for Brandon Cooks. But at least Brandon Cooks had an 1,000-yard season. Remember, the Texans got him. I'm so sorry, Raiders fans. This isn't the team that you were supposed to have. Because you guys drafted people like Cleanan Farrell. And then you have like Josh Jacobs. He was a really good pick. But, geez, what is wrong with you guys? You guys have a glimmer of hope. And you guys are starting to do something. And then Gruden goes, no, 8-8. We must stick to the process. We can't be good and we can't be bad. We gotta be mediocre. We gotta have these fans in pain. I am so sorry, Vegas and Oakland, wherever you are. I'm sorry, Raiders fans, that you have to deal with this. Just keep on rewatching your Super Bowls from the 90s and 80s and 70s, and you will be all fine. Just think that you're back and Al Davis is still alive right now, and you guys will be fine. But yeah. Is that it from everyone? I
think so.
Yep.
Well, if you made it to the end of the video, first of all, thank you for making it to the end. You guys are amazing out there. And don't forget to... That was the worst Coke flip I've ever seen. Don't forget to hit that like button, push that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, depending on the week. We have 3 uploads coming for you right now, but don't go anywhere. We still have a bunch of stuff. We have tier lists. We have off-season previews. We're even thinking about more ideas in the works, which we can't reveal right now because they are secretive. We are also going to be discussing even more ideas to make sure that you, the viewer, have all the content at your fingertips, because we are not going anywhere. Just because the NFL season ended doesn't mean that we should end too. So I have been Josh from Frontline Football, and one more thing I gotta say, Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FrontlineFB. Just pop that in your phone. That's right there. If you're too lazy, links in the description. As always, off-season just beginning. For you, it's Friday, so we're about 6-7 days away from the big day where tampering starts. And as I said in the last video, Jets and Jags fans danced in the street as they signed people, and Saints fans just pray they can keep everyone together. But we hope you enjoyed. As always, things are going to get intense. There's going to be drama. There's going to be action, and we're here for it. We're going to ride the wave of the offseason. See you guys then.
See ya.